British UFO experts claims that aliens as advanced humans are under the ocean. A UFO expert claims that aliens have always been here, quote unquote, and could actually be living under our oceans, which is what has protected them from the planet's ills over the past eons. NASA has planned to send an army of mini swimming robots to find the aliens in the oceans of other planets. Such a plan could be used to detect signs of alien life between the mile-thick ice shells of Jupiter's moon Europa or Saturn's moon Enceladus. But what about our home planet? Does NASA have any plan to explore our oceans? Have they already found everything about the blue planet in our solar system? Or is something stopping them to do this? Interestingly, UFO expert Anna Whitty came forward with a strange theory. She claims aliens have been living under Earth's oceans for protection and that they have always been here on the planet. That's her theory. Anna Whitty, author of the book UFO, A Fundamental Truth, made her claim on an official statement of Dr. Shirley Wright, who interviewed aliens found at the Roswell crash site in 1947. Whitty stated that aliens are actually just humans, but in advanced form. In a recently aired 2-hour documentary on the UFO crash called Roswell 75, The Final Evidence, Anna Whitty was featured alongside expert Philip Mantell, director and producer Spiros Meleris, and Dr. David Hall. The documentary featured an interview where Dr. Shirley Wright, a former colleague of Albert Einstein, stated that aliens inquired about human exploration inside our ocean. They asked how far into the ocean humans have traveled. Whitty did an interview with the Daily Star, elaborating more on her claim. She said that if whatever Wright had documented through her interview is correct, then it's more believable for the aliens to come from under the sea rather than from above us from another planet. If what Shirley said is right, it's more likely that aliens come from somewhere under the sea or caves or something like that rather than another planet. And it makes sense because there's a lot of evidence on the planet that there has been a massive cataclysm every few thousand years, Whitty said. If humans on the surface are being reset to the Stone Age every several thousands of years, and these people are somewhere where they are more protected because they're underground, then perhaps their development in technology and intelligence is continuing on an upward trajectory, whereas we keep on being reset. So it's possible that maybe they are not beings at all, but they can make you think you're seeing what you're not seeing, she said. The documentary dives into the incident, examining the eyewitness accounts, the involvement of space propaganda by the two major powers, as well as several secret projects that were assumed to be covered up with the help of this incident. Whitty's theory of aliens being underwater entities could have some meaning, as after all, there are videos of UFOs diving into the water. There's footage filmed in the CIC, that's Combat Information Center, of the USS Omaha, July 15, 2019, in a warning area off San Diego. The footage depicts a UAP event series that reaches a culmination with one of the unknown targets entering the water. No wreckage was found and none of the unknown craft was recovered. Retired U.S. Air Force Lieutenant Colonel Richard French served in the U.S. Army for more than 27 years, and he alleged lead investigator of he was the alleged investigator of Project Blue Book in the 1950s. His job was to shoot down false reports of UFOs. In Newfoundland, the Canadian province, he saw two aliens repairing their ship submerged underwater, he claimed. French testified about his work on UFOs in 1952 in front of 6 former members of Congress at the citizens' hearing in 2013. He recalled seeing 2 alien crafts below the water, 6 meters, that's about 20 feet off the shoreline, so that's pretty close. He also saw 2 extraterrestrials near the ships, and he remembered the water was clear, so he could see those beings doing something at the bottom of the craft. The water, he said, was fairly clear, and I could see without any trouble. They were not down at the bottom of the seabed, they were about halfway down, French said. He believes the aliens were repairing the ships and tested them before leaving. Whatever happened in Newfoundland is a classic UFO story ever given by the Army official. Even though he was chosen to debunk UFO stories, he undoubtedly said that it was a UFO and there were extraterrestrials. The idea that the ocean is inhabited by extraterrestrials can be backed by these incidents, as incredible account of spotting underwater UFOs or underwater submerged objects, USOs, was shared by former gunner mate John Bowman, who served in the U.S. Navy from 2018 to 13. He was stationed on the United States Navy's 3rd Nimitz-class supercarrier USS Carl Vinson in 2010 when he first saw Tic Tac UFO underwater. He said, "I was staring into the water from above when a large flat white Tic Tac object, approximately 20 feet in length, suddenly appeared in my view below me, moving right and darting into depths as fast as it appeared. I could not really comprehend what I saw. It was definitely a solid object, but when it descended, its forward end rapidly collapsed in on itself and disappeared." Another USO encounter occurred with the crew of the Soviet submarine in the south of the Pacific Ocean at a depth of 260 meters. The 6 disc-like objects were moving towards the submarine at the speed of 426 kilometers an hour. That's pretty fast for underwater. The crew could not escape their pursuit, and the commander ordered the crew to rise to the surface. The crew saw through the periscope that the object came out of the water and took off at an absurdly fast speed into the air. There are classic alien abduction cases where the witnesses recall being taken to secret underwater bases. One such abduction of Betty Andreessen Luca is considered to be one of the most documented cases in the history of ufology. The woman from Massachusetts experienced multiple abductions, she says, and her case is widely studied by UFO researchers. During one of her hypnotic regression sessions, Betty remembered one of the early abductions that occurred to her in her childhood. It took place in 1950 when she was taken from her home into a spacecraft as usual, but this time the craft was flying towards an ocean or sea. She was terrified that the craft would crash into the water, but the ship submerged into the water, entered into a kind of a tunnel. Betty could see everything underwater as the place was filled with light. And next is Filiberto Cardenas' encounter, where he claimed to have been taken to a secret underwater hangar, and interestingly, his abduction was witnessed by his friend's family. He remembered being taken to some unknown beach where he saw deep blue water. He said one of the aliens got out of the object and opened a secret tunnel from where a similar craft came and flew away. The craft which he was in also went into the tunnel with great speed underwater. Soon he was at the secret large hangar under the sea, he claims. This is by Vicky Vermehausen-Wise on Collective Spark. Please leave your comments and thank you for your support. Please support my Patreon account. The daily posts are 5 videos daily, and they are totally different from what I have on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your support and that you find all my content so interesting. You'll find the Patreon account details in the description box below.